relationship.
What's the division of labour in your house?
Well, my husband's very active in the household. He runs our household basically, which is great.
How did you get to that? What was the secret on that?
Well, he's always been good. I didn't really realise
Was there no
that.
discussion? Was there a discussion?
No, we just played to our
got this
strengths.
job,
No, not necessarily, because he's fabulous at running the house. He enjoys it. He's great at it. I'm probably less skilled at it. So we have a natural division that way. I do all the things with the kids around their school and whatever, and Hunt does a lot of great work at home. So we share.
I'm same.
Exactly.
I actually don't think that a woman who has a really demanding, every job's demanding, but has a particular job that takes them out of the house, that if the two of you, it's impossible. You've got to have that supportive partner.
You've got to, that's the most important thing, a supportive partner.
I think so. Would you, because I mean, the question we have here is, what would you do if you had a husband who refused to take on domestic tasks? What do you tell other women? Change your husband?
Yeah, change your husband. I don't know, it would be much more difficult. There's no question about that. I couldn't do what I do without a husband who really doesn't, and also feels that running the household is part of his job. He's, and he believes fundamentally in equality, and I think that's why as well. So we're a good partnership.
So you also make sure that you don't pass on the gender stereotyping to your children?
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. Both mum and dad care. Both mum and dad work. Dad's better at some things and mum's better at others, and so that may make a natural division of some of the labour. But so there's not this deep gender stereotyping.
Have you ever fallen off that?
I'm sure I probably have, but I'm just trying to think when. Well, he does the lawn mowing, and so that's probably one example where.
What do you think your children would say about you? How would they describe you?
I think they'd describe me, how would they? Well, as a really engaged mum, but a mum that allows them independence. I mean, they are quite independent. I suppose that's part of actually having to step up as well, if I'm not there all the time. But compassionate, caring mum. But Lucy would see me probably, that's my daughter, as a strong advocate.
A role model?
Or a strong advocate for women. She tells me she's proud of the work I do and things.
Oh, isn't that terrific? Doesn't that just make it worth it?
Yeah, no, it is fantastic. And when I see her, she's a very empowered young woman. It's a great joy to see there as well. And Tom, very much. I mean, I think, people say, what's going to be your biggest achievement as Sex Discrimination Commissioner? And I love the work that I do with the military, with business across Australia. But my greatest achievement is probably raising 2 children who fundamentally believe that equality is the only path. That'll be my greatest achievement.
How do you measure success? What is success to you?
It's not climbing the corporate ladder or whatever. For success for me is being, I think, an agent of change in a positive sense. So I will feel that I've had a successful life if, particularly in the professional sense, if I've created positive change in the world, even if it's in my little sphere of influence here, doesn't have to be global or national, but have I created positive change for those with whom are in my sphere of influence. So that very much includes my family. It starts from there, I think.
So I was going to ask you how the children fit into that.
So very much my kids, my husband.
What keeps you awake at night?
What keeps me awake? I suppose sometimes I do get overwhelmed by the extent of some of the issues that I see here in my own country, but also across the world, because I work a lot in the World Bank, the UN, NATO, and organisations like that. So I do on occasion become deeply overwhelmed with a deep sadness, I think, about the fact that we still live in a world where men and women are not treated equally. And particularly when you hear the individual stories. I was lucky enough to hear Malala Yousafzai from Swat Valley speak in the World Bank when I was in there last. And you know, in one side I feel like weeping when I hear that, on another I'm so inspired, empowered by women's natural resilience, particularly those in really
That was very young,
significant.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
she was 15.
she was 12 when she started.
When she started, she was
Yeah.
12, yeah. And then when I think she was shot, she was 15.
15.
And she's gone on to become such a strong advocate, but with an enlightened dad who really believed in young women's education as well.
What makes you happy? What, you know, describe a fantastic day for you.
Fantastic day. So that would be, you know, waking up with my husband and the kids and hanging out a bit together. But it would also include hearing the stories. Yeah, hearing the stories. I think that's what makes me inspired and happy and committed to take action as well.
What do you want to be remembered for?
That's a good question. I suppose at the heart of who I am is I want to be remembered, I suppose, in relationship terms in my family. That's the most important thing, that I was, you know, someone who inspired my children, was, you know, had a really close relationship with my husband. I'm an identical twin, so so also with my twin sister and my sisters and dad and whatever. So I suppose at the heart of it is who I am in the family. But I also would like to be remembered as someone who stood up for women's rights, who recognised that if equality is my birthright and your birthright, why would we accept anything less? And that I just took the world and Australia one step closer to a more equal world.
Wow, what's next? Because, what's next?
Well,
what's next?
yeah, it's something that I really need to spend more time. But I've come to a place, I think, maybe in my life, in my career, where whatever is next, and opportunities will present, I've no doubt about that, but whatever else is next, that I think it doesn't really matter where I pop up, I will still be able to create change, be a positive agent for change. So I don't have anything. I know what isn't next. Politics is not next for me. No, I don't think so at all.
Why?
Because I think I care too much about the issues, and to subscribe onto a political platform just wouldn't be part of me. I want to follow issues, not politics. I don't think I'd go back to practicing law. It's not where I would go. But is it is it the military? Is it community? Is it some kind of representative role or whatever? I don't know.
But the military. I mean, that's a perfect opportunity for you.
Yeah, and I love my work. It's a real privilege to work in Australia's military. So that's been great.
The day that you walk away from the office, how's that going to feel? Have you thought about it? Have you kind of envisaged it?
No, I haven't really envisaged it. But you know what? I think the day I walk away, I'll know that it's been an incredible gift. It's also been a huge responsibility. And I think I'll be, is it confident, or I'll know, I'll be at peace. Yeah, but also I'll know that I've given it my all. That I don't have any regrets about it. In fact, it's been, just a fabulous gift for me, and that I think I will have been I will have been responsible for some change in this area over the last 7 or 8 years.
It's amazing. The work's been fantastic.
Thanks, Jackie.